Hi, I'm Steve, and this is my co-pilot, Lucy. Let's go flying. Buongiorno, everybody. I don't know how to say everybody in Italian. Just say buongiorno. I'm at Elba, which is Italian style, also part of Tuscany, and this is a really nifty little airport. As you can see, the Italian flag is waving quite bravely over there. They have a fire department here. They have this nice terminal, but strangely enough, they don't have any way to fill up your gas tank. So I hope for this short flight from Elba to Florence, I've got plenty of sufficient fuel. Okay, in the cockpit, and well, got about a little over half a tank on both wings. This should be sufficient. So today we're flying from Campo de Marina to Florence. I don't know if it makes such difference, flow or anyway. We're flying from Campo de Marina to Florence. We're going to land ILS runway. The approach is ILS runway 5. That's really the only approach you can take because of the terrain over here immediately in front of the runway, or if you were coming in the other direction, you'd have to drop down really fast. Okay, I'm back with you. Took a little bit to lay in the flight plan the way I wanted it. Today what I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to do an ILS approach to runway 5 at Florence. Really the only approach you can fly, no matter which way the wind is blowing. And what I'm going to try to do is use VNAV to get down to the altitude I need to be at to intercept the glide slope for the ILS. And the localizer is already keyed in at 110.3, and I'm going to put in our cruise altitude, 7,000 feet, plenty high enough to fly over the water here today. Burned up some fuel while I was busy flight planning. Anyway, I'm going to call the tower, give them my intentions, takeoff intentions. Just call it straight out.
Ground Beechcraft Kilo Yankee India Victor Alpha India Romeo, request taxi for takeoff departing straight out.
It will be straight out for a bit.
Beechcraft Kilo Yankee India Victor Alpha India Romeo, taxi to and hold short of runway tree for via taxiway Bravo. Contact tower on 123.7 when ready.
I thought the direction today was runway 16, but that
Taxiing
doesn't
hold short runway tree for using taxiway Bravo Beechcraft Alpha India Romeo.
We'll take off on runway 34. It's not 16. So let's get going. Sorry, buddy. Hope I don't cut him up with my props. Slice them in half with a wing, because at runway 16. But runway 16 takes you up over that hill. Not really pretty, not exactly a good look on takeoff. Fortunately, the wind is really non-existent here today. Alright, get rid of those silly chevrons, arrows. Those are artifacts within the sim, just to help me find the runway. Okay, I'm going to set flaps 1 notch. Release the brakes. Let's go.
Beechcraft Alpha India Romeo, you are
You're
now
up.
cleared to take off.
Yeah, I was. Oh, I forgot to ask him. Well, too bad. A little bit of trimming up to do. When I rather intersect the, when these lines down there become a solid arrow or close to it, I'll engage the autopilot and we'll go up to our cruise altitude. And there's Marina de Campo. We just took off. And we're going on autopilot now. And I'm going to try flight level change, which is there. So that'll bring us to 7,000 feet. And we're on our way. Doing about 197 knots true airspeed. Should get us there pretty quick. Once we're there to cruise altitude, I'm going to reduce the target altitude to 3,000, which is where we need to be at the initial approach fix at Ganga, I think it is. Well, Nipto. Anyway, I want to be at 3,000 by Nipto. And I'm hoping VNAV or vertical navigation will get us there. Goodbye, Elba. It's a nice little place. Napoleon's first place of exile. I think he should have stayed there instead of trying to reconquer France. He just wound up on St. Helena, a rock in the Atlantic after that. I don't like the way we're climbing. I think I'll step it up. So Elba is part of Tuscany. And this is the, I believe it's called the Ligurian Sea. Elba's part of the Ligurian archipelago. Great way to learn geography. This is real weather, live weather, but not the real time. Of course, I'm in California and I don't want to fly in the dark. It's night over here right now. Okay, we've reached the cruise altitude of 7,000 feet, and at this point I'm going to reduce the target altitude right here to 3,000 feet. And now I'm going to activate ARM VNAV. So theoretically, we should start a descent at here at Merrill, 1,000 feet, then another 5,000 after that, down to about 4,500 at Ganga, and then 3,000. Let's see if that works. It should work. I think it's gonna work. Down here, there's see TOD right there, top of descent. Now that's when we should start going down about 1,000 feet to 6,000 here, and then we'll have further descents that'll be controlled by the autopilot. Let's see if it works. At this point, I want to reduce speed so we don't overrun our targets. Try to keep an eye on the airspeed while I look out the window and enjoy the scenery. So that's the approach, and actually pick up the localizer here at Utuvi, and at Utuvi have to be at 3,000. So let's see if the VNAV gets us there. This is an RNAV GPS guided approach with an instrument landing, ILS ground-based beacon landing. It should take us down to the runways. A little cloudy up ahead, which will make the approach more interesting. Doing about 134, 140, about 140 knots, true airspeed. I flew this before in the Kodiak. It takes a lot longer. I decided to do it again because I wasn't pleased with my landing. This is part of my trip from starting in Dublin, Africa, Dublin, Ireland, senior moments, ending up at Durban, South Africa. And I'm just, well, I originally thought it would be pretty linear, and now I'm just going all kinds of places just for fun. Again, now throttling down because we're going to get into the approach pretty soon. VNAV is armed. See, our next altitude coming up is 6,000. Right there, and we should be descending to 6 pretty soon, and we are on now. We have the V path, and we're going down. I can slow it down now. It is throttle back so as not to pick up too much speed, and we're going to descend to 6. And we have to be there at RQ419. And after that, we'll be descending to 5,000. We're at 6 now. leveling off and throttling up again. And the next descent will begin here where it says TOD. And we're already going down. This is working out pretty well. Love these clouds. And once again, we have VPAP in white. And our next target is 3,000 feet. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Tuscany proper. Why Florence? Why not Rome? Well, I've been to Florence and I want to look at it from the air, so I'm flying here to then get a smaller plane, slower plane, and circle around Florence. Just take a joyride around Florence before I move on. Probably fly to Rome. Well, I was thinking of flying back over to Pisa, which is more to the coast, so zigzagging, then Rome, fly around Rome to enjoy that scenery, architecture, and then I think fly to Naples. Combining vertical navigation with an ILS approach, as opposed to vertical navigation all the way to the runway. An ILS approach is more precise than an RNAV approach with vertical satellite guided vertical navigation, because there's a beacon, radio beacon at the runway, which is a big help. Right here, so it's time to arm the approach, I believe. We've got GS, meaning glide slope, in white there. Now we've got the glide slope. Alright, we're going down. This worked out perfectly, so I just need to slow down. I've been trying to fly a small jet, relatively small jet lately, the CJ4, and managing that plane on approach is a lot more challenging just because of the speeds involved. So this should bring us right to the runway. We're still a ways out. No hurry. Looks like we're heading into some rain. Bit of wind, chop, light chop. I always thought I wanted to be a pilot. This is good enough for me. Pretty good illusion of flight. Well, that's the runway up there. There it is. Runway in sight up there, folks. Flaps. This plane doesn't think we've gotten a Ganga yet. I think we're well past it. Certainly see the runway lights through the haze. And there's the rain. Got rain. The autopilot does not know where we are. This is really interesting. It thinks we're miles and miles away. I'm glad I didn't trust that too much. We're right on the glide slope, crossing 700 feet. Keeping the airspeed about 90 knots. Getting ready to disengage the autopilot. 500 feet. Raining. And we've got crosswinds, all kinds of fun to deal with. Alright, I'm off the autopilot. This is going to be a challenging landing. Little rudder correction. A lot of rudder correction. Alright. A lot of crosswind there. This is a short runway. It doesn't take much to eat it all up. Okay, well, here we are at Florence. Flight controller would say, good day. Since we're in Italy, I'll just say, arrivederci.